Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some more NBA news, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So for those of you who haven't heard, it looks like the San Antonio Spurs are really struggling to try and re-sign DeMar DeRozan. It looks like on both parties' ends that it's just not working out, and a lot of people are getting really excited and are starting a lot of theories on what could potentially happening with DeMar. A lot of people even saying that he could potentially returning back to Toronto as a free agent. I believe he does have a player option worth about $27 million from Remembrance, so if that's actually true, I guess he might actually decline that. Obviously, Al Horford ended up having like a $32 million player option, ended up actually declining that for about a $25 million player option on a longer term deal. So we could see something similar to that happening, but yeah, I'm not too sure if it's really to do with the money or if it's the years and how much money he's making on certain years, or what it's really to do with. No one really knows the full information on what's really going down with it. There's also the fact that San Antonio might be starting to move in with the youth, like DeJounte Murray, Derek White, etc., and the list goes on. Obviously, we know that San Antonio never really rebuilds, so I wouldn't imagine them, blowing up the list or whatever if they were to trade DeMar or maybe even, a couple other players here and there, like Rudy Gay, etc., on the trade deadline. Then potentially they would probably be looking for younger players as well. Pretty similar to a LaMarcus Aldridge situation. They'd probably be looking for younger players and picks. Don't really know, because they're not going to waste the couple years that Greg Popovich has left of coaching. I think that they would either want to get some really good young players and get his coaching into them, or they would want to make one last championship push. But to be honest, with LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan, with the current roster they have, even if you add another star to it, I don't really know if it's really too possible. I mean, I just don't know if it is anymore, with how DeMar and LaMarcus Aldridge play and how their game plan and play style really suits for the 2019 NBA season. So yeah, I guess it is a topic and another different conversation on if their game style is outdated or whatever. But yeah, there's a couple teams I could definitely see DeMar potentially going and signing with. There are three teams that I'm pretty sure at one stage would have had the most cap for the 2020 trade period and all of that stuff. I mean, the 2020 off season. Those were the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors, and Atlanta Hawks. I believe Toronto are now out of that now that they've re-signed Kyle Lowry on that one-year deal. Cleveland are still there and in a desperate need of a small forward, while Atlanta are also there, but I just don't think they really need a small forward after, the draft picks that they had recently. I think they're going to be trying to get a big name center. I think Marcus Gasol would even be a good signing for the Hawks if they could try and get him. I don't really know, though. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm actually a Cavs fan myself. I don't really think DeMar DeRozan's play style really fits in with how their game plan is run and how they're trying to make it run and all that stuff. Obviously, it's all about spacing and everything under John Beilein's game plan, which, DeMar, I don't really know if you can really do that, especially on the three-point line. I mean, I'm pretty sure he only made 7 threes or something in the 2018 and 19 season. So, yeah, again, I don't think that would really suit him. And then you got the Toronto, where it's kind of in an interesting situation, because I think they would end up getting a deal done where they could sign DeMar because of, how loyal of a person he is. I think he would even take a pay cut to go and play for Toronto again. They would definitely most likely be in championship contention if they were able to bring back Gasol, and then obviously they have Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, and then they'd have, Marc Gasol, as I said, and DeMar DeRozan. So they would probably be in championship contention, adding DeMar DeRozan to the team. But again, if they sign DeMar, I don't know if they're going to be able to bring back Marc Gasol. I mean, I just don't think they're going to have enough cap. It depends how much Marc Gasol is really going to want and how much DeMar is really going to want. I think for him to be put on a championship contending roster and to play with Toronto, who are in a very interesting situation, as they pretty much have half veterans and half younger players, and yeah, they're in a very interesting situation. But then you kind of think that, they'd be in championship contention with DeMar and all of this stuff. Like, a lot of people get excited when teams add a new player, but then you think about it, a lot of people didn't really have them in championship contention when they had Kawhi, but then they obviously did win the championship. So I guess it could either go either way. I think they could potentially go back in the championship contention, and potentially they could also trade for him on the trade deadline as well. Again, I don't know if they would. There is even a rumor that the Spurs could even make a move for Kyle Lowry, and I think the Heat were trying to get him. So it's really interesting signs at Toronto. I don't really know if they're going to try and compete or try and, change it up a little bit and go a lot younger with Fred VanVleet and obviously Pascal Siakam. So yeah, I guess we don't really know. I don't really know if we're going to see any moves on the trade deadline. I guess it's if the Toronto Raptors think they can compete for another season, or are they going to trade for DeMar and try and improve their roster, or are they just going to change everything and get younger players in? I think it's going to be only time will tell. We're probably going to have to wait to the trade deadline or potentially even the off season, because yeah, it's going to be a little bit of time, I would have think. And yeah, but I'm extremely excited to see what happens. Again, I think the Cavs are going to be a massive team that could potentially get him. The Miami Heat as well, that I didn't really talk about. The Miami Heat are in desperate need of another star to partner up with Jimmy Butler. Whether you say DeMar's a star now is, the question. I think he still is. I think he's still a pretty good player, even though he only really has a mid-range game. I still think the Heat would look to try and sign him. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Again, I think the Cavs and the Atlanta Hawks will have the most cap in the offseason. But I just don't think the Hawks are the move, and I don't really think the Cavs are the move, even though Cavs desperately need a small forward. I don't think DeMar is really going to fit in with how they play at all. But again, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA and sports content. Don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on DeMar DeRozan potentially leaving the San Antonio Spurs? As yeah, a contract doesn't look like it's going to be getting done anytime soon. I definitely would really like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. What team do you guys think he will go to? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channels. Links for them are in the description down below. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.